कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः। जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः परमव्योमभास्करः।
Srimate Nigamanta Mahadeshikaya Namaha. As Hanuman was watching all the events that were happening in Ashokavanam, he saw Ravana enter Ashokavanam, place a huge golden platter filled with silk and ornaments in front of Seetā to impress upon her. Seetā wasn't impressed at all. Rather, to show her disgust, her fear, of course her anger, to Ravana, she plucked a blade of grass. Trinamaltarata kritva. She plucked a blade of grass and placed it in between her and Ravana. The commentators have given a list of reasons as to why did she pluck the blade of grass, and why did she keep it in between her and Ravana. We have many reasons. Our commentators have graciously mentioned those reasons in their commentaries, and I have had the bhagya through you all to explain each of these reasons. As the reasons continue, they don't seem to stop at all. They are like the incessant monsoon showers. Seetā says, there used to be a demon called Dambodbhava who had said that I could not be killed by anything but a blade of grass. So his assumption was a blade of grass was so inferior in nature that it can't do anything purposeful. So to prove that every creation of his has a purpose, Sriman Narayana chose the blade of grass to kill that particular asura, to kill that particular demon. Seetā reminds Ravana, you seem to think inferior as people around you as inferior, objects as inferior. To my Lord, Sri Rama, this blade of grass is enough to vanquish you in the battle. Trinamal tarata kritva. To burn you up, I need some material. With my eyes that are gushing with anger, I can burn this blade of grass. Use that burning grass to throw upon you to burn you altogether. Trinamal tarata kritva. After having mentioned all these reasons as to why the grass, why the blade of grass, why the blade of grass was plucked, Seetā says, Pratyuvachas Shuchismita says, Valmiki, why Prati? Because she says, see, do not think I am being against you. I am giving you advice. So, you are not anukula to me. You are not supportive of me. You are against me. So, my reply is to your acts, not to you. Prati. Then, vacha. Why should she speak? Well, she shows some reaction. Why should that be through speaking? She says, Ravana, there are 4 ways to attack the person standing opposite to you. Sama, Dana, Bheda, Danda. So I am using one of the easiest means of speaking to you. So, Vacha, Pratyuvacha. Then she continues, Shuchismita. So what is Shuchismita? with a smirk, with a smile. She was not laughing. She gave a smile. There was a lot of sarcasm that was laced over that smile. Why did she smile? Again, the commentator gives reasons. So he says, it seems Seetā thought, you are giving all this as if you have done some great act, valorous act of having brought the lady love of yours. You have brought somebody else's wife, you shameless man. You are giving me all this wealth. I have kept this blade of grass. You're acting as if you've done something very, very noble. So she gave that smile. Shuchismita trinamaltarata kritva pratyuvacha. She smiles. Shuchismita. Then the next reason. Hasanniva dripohanti. Ravana, you have been thinking that you are the Lord of Lanka. My father-in-law, my husband treat me as their princess, the queen, the heir apparent. When a person has committed the crime and he is being brought to the court and the punishment is announced, let us say for the crime that the person has committed, he has to be guillotined or beheaded. Do you think the king or the queen will cry, shed tears and give the judgment? Behead him for the crime that he has committed, they would say. Similarly is my state, Ravana. You have committed the crime against me. I am your judge now. I have kept the blade of grass. I am saying, use this as a tool to save yourself, yet you are not. I know the day of you being judged and you being punished is too near. Pratyuvacha shuchismita. Next, the other reason given by her is bhava shuddhi. So, you have been a king who has always looked down upon others. So here I tell you, Ravana, I look down upon your wealth. You look down upon others. I look down upon your wealth. So this wealth is nothing in front of me, nothing in front of the love that I have for my dear husband, Rama. Pratyuvacha shuchismita. You talk before the demonesses, all these soldiers, as if you fought one big battle and you brought me. No. Like a person, a coward, you came in the disguise of an ascetic. A parivrajaka is the one who leads people in the path of wisdom. Rather, you came stealthily, secretly, in the disguise of a parivrajaka, a sannyasi. You stole me, you abducted me, and you're acting as if you won me through a battle. Pratyuvacha shuchismita. She smiles. Then she says, see, in a few days, I don't know the exact number of days, in a few days from now, Ravana, all the wealth that you're showcasing in front of me is all going to be Vibhishana's. You won't be there. So, for this small period of time, you are the temporary owner of this wealth. With that, you have so much of arrogance and attitude. Pratyuvacha shuchismita trinamantarata kritva pratyuvacha shuchismita nivartaya manaha. Change your mind right away, she advises. Why? She says, see, an Atma is blessed with a buddhi that is housed in the body. The buddhi is the one that makes the body commit either good or bad karma. You still have time. Change your mind. Undo all the wrong things that you have done. You can still spare a large part of your life to doing good for your subjects. Nivartaya manaha. Love your wife. Love your children. Love your citizens. Why should you come all the way abduct somebody else's wife? Abandon this dirty love for somebody else's wife. Nivartaya manaha. That is when Valmiki says, when she herself is suffering. She was born to Janaka, became the daughter-in-law of Dasharatha, became the wife of Rama, lived in Ayodhya, travelled all the forests, was abducted, tormented. She is in grief in Lanka. She doesn't know what is her future course. But yet, as a mother would always advise her children to go in the right path, she's still advising Ravana, Nivartaya Manaha. Correct yourself, my dear son. It's high time. This is what Jagannmata is. Trinamantarata kritva pratyuvacha shuchismita nivartaya manaha mattaha swajane priyata manaha, says Seetā to Ravana. So, finally, is this what Valmiki trying to hint at what Seetā wanted to tell Ravana? Yes. Now I have to go to the other poets of equal repute. Kamban, one of the earliest poets in the Bharatiya tradition to have translated, to have transcreated the Ramayana of Valmiki in one of the world's classical oldest languages, Tamil, says what conversation Seetā had with Ravana. Seetā tells, I've heard that you lifted the Kailasha Parvata. Ravana says, yes. But I also heard that your arrogance was put to death by Lord Shiva pressing on that mountain. Oh, where did you hear it from? Seetā says, do you know? Lord Shiva snubbed your arrogance, and that Lord Shiva's bow was broken to pieces by my husband. So in a way, my husband has won over you, and do you not realize that, Ravana? Kundra nee edutha naal tan sevadi tozhudal unnai வென்றவன் புறங்கள் வெவ்வத் தனிச்சரம் துரங்கமேரு என் துணை கணவன் ஆற்றற்கு உரணிலாது இற்று விழுந்த அன்று எழுந்து உயர்ந்த ஓசை கேட்டிலை போலுவம்மா. Did you listen to that sound of Shiva Dhanush being broken when Rama handled it? And you now tell that you have lifted Kailasha, that Kailasha Murti Shiva Mahadeva's bow was broken by Rama. That time, Ravana is not a person who leaves the dialogue that easily. He says, see, I won over the Devas, I lifted Kailasha, this is what matters. But I have heard in your kingdom that you should be protecting the men. That is why while you were walking in the forest, Lakshmana came behind you. You went in front of Lakshmana to protect Lakshmana. See, in your kingdom, men are cowards. They hide behind women. Ravana taunted. மலையெடுத்து என் திசை காக்கும் மக்களை நிலை கெடுத்தேன் என்னும் மாற்றம் நெரும் நீ சிலை எடுத்து இளையவன் நிற்கச் சேர்ந்திலை தலையெடுத்து இன்னமும் மகள் தாழ்தினியோ. You came in front of Lakshmana. That time Seetā says, don't speak a word against my dear son like brother-in-law, Lakshmana. I don't need Rama to come all the way to Lanka to win over you. If I say Lakshmana, you come, he'll say Jagannmata, I'll listen to you, and one Lakshmana is enough to vanquish you in the battle. She threatens and warns Ravana. Look at Sita's prowess. What does she say more, sir? Did she continue her conversation with Ravana like this? Was Hanuman seeing all of this? Yes. More to her conversation with the tyrant Ravana in the next episode. Dear Astika reader, I am happy to be authoring a 2-part book on the Ramayana in English. The first part is slated for release in the year 2024. The book aims to recreate and retell the Ramayana of Valmiki, conforming to the ancient commentaries and other allied literature. To receive notifications of the book release, kindly register with www.deshikadaya.org/books. Namaskaram.